One.
Good morning, friends. Mr. Yoder here. Hopefully you're having a good morning with Mrs. Yoder. Sorry I'm not with you again, but I am at a training with Mr. Elijah today. So I will look forward to seeing you kids tomorrow. So at this time, you should be at your desk. You should have out your dry erase marker, a sock. You will need a pencil, and you should have your math journal opened up to page 71. And you should also have your bag of fraction circles. But at this time, you can go ahead and push off to the side your math journal and your fraction circles. And with your marker, we are going to do a couple rounding problems because it's good to review. So with your marker, I would like you on your desk to write the number 67,549. What I would like you to do right now is I would like you to round this number to the nearest 100. Go to the nearest 100. Hopefully, as you are rounding this number to nearest 100, you notice that the hundreds places the digit 5, and you need to think about what two hundreds this number comes in. And the first one is obviously 500, and the next 100 up is 600. So then our rule is we look at our friend next door, and it's a 4, and the rule is 5 or more, raise the score, 4 or less, let it rest. So we know to obviously round it down. And our rounded answer will be 67,500. Go ahead and clear that off, friends. And let's go ahead and write that same number down again. 67,549. This time, I would like you to round it to the nearest 1,000. To the nearest 1,000. Go. Hopefully when you were identifying which digit, it should be the 7 is in the ones, thousands placed. And now you need to think about what two thousands. So it comes in between 7,000, but not just 7,000, it's really 67,000. And then our next 1,000 up will be 68,000. And then same thing, we look at our friend next door and it's a 5, and we know to round up. So our rounded answer to the nearest 1,000 is 68,000. All right, friends, we're going to go ahead and do one more. I'm going to give you a challenge number. So go ahead and wipe off your desk, and let's go ahead and write this number now. We're going to write 1,005,518. What I would like you to do is I would like you to round this number to the nearest 1,000. To the nearest 1,000. Go. Hopefully you are looking at this first 5 is in the 1,000s place. Hopefully that helps you. So the first 1,000 is the easiest one. It's simply 5,000. But not just 5,000, it's really 1,005,000. And the next 1,000 up would be 1,006,000. And again, we look at our friend next door and it's a 5, and that tells us to round up. So our rounded answer will be 1,006,000. All right, kids, what you can do is clear off your desk with your markers, and you can put your dry erase marker and marker away. And now you can go ahead and pull out your fraction circles. And you should have your math journal opened up to page 71, and you'll need your pencil. as you go and get your fractions out, I would like you to pull out the one fraction piece that is a half. Now your half is going to be a different color than mine, but it's still going to represent the same thing. So go and pull out just the 1/2 piece. As you're doing that, let me explain our activity and our objective for today. What we are going to do is we're going to use fraction circles to help us identify equivalent fractions. So we're going to find as many different equivalent fractions for the number 1/2. So we're going to go and start with the next fraction up, or the next fraction less, and we're going to look at the fraction 1/3. And what you need to do is you're going to lay that 1/3 piece on top of your half and see if it's equivalent. So go ahead and do that with me at the same time. And as I'm doing that, I realize that 1/3 is definitely not equivalent to a half. So I'm going to lay down another third and see if I can get 2/3 is the same as a half. So I'm going to try and pair up my piece. And definitely 2/3 is more than a half, so I know that a third is not equivalent. So I'm going to put those off to the side. So you are doing the same thing. And now we're going to go and pull out a 1/4. And then what we're going to do is we're going to lay that right on top of that half circle. And now I'm going to pull out another 1/4, and I'm going to lay it on top and see if 2/4 is equivalent to a half. And are they equivalent, class? Yes, they are. So using your pencil in your math journal, what I would like you to do is for problem number 2, I think it's, or for the second one, it has a half over here. It has a line. And what we're going to do is we're going to write all of the equivalent fractions for the number 1/2. And we know that 2/4 is the same as a half. So go and write 2/4. And then we're going to put a comma here because there are definitely more equivalent fractions. Now, back to our fraction circles. Now we're going to pull out the 5th. I don't know what color yours is, but go ahead and pull out the fraction piece that's a 5th. And then you're going to lay yours on top, like that. And then we're going to lay down another 5th. And then I'm going to lay down the 3rd 5th, see if 3/5 is the same as a half. And as I do that, it looks like it is, but it is not. 3/5 is more than a half. So 3/5 is not equivalent. So I hope you get the idea, class. So what you're going to do is with Mrs. Yoder is you're going to find the remaining 4 equivalent fractions for the 1/2, and then you're going to go ahead and rotate and get right into math rotations. So hopefully you listen and respect her very well, and I'll be excited to see you kids tomorrow and hear about your awesome day. All right, peace out. See you tomorrow.